Now, those of you that have been with us in the past, I think you probably remember we've tried to tell the story about one of our kids or their families. A couple years ago, you might remember Abby, the young lady that was very severe on the autism spectrum. Last year, the McDermotts, and I think they're here tonight. Are the McDermotts with us tonight? Where are they? Thank you. Last year, they told their story about moving to Columbia from Kentucky and the tremendous success and the improvements that have been made, and we're just thrilled to have them with us. But, you know, the condition of autism and the spectrum disorders, some of our stories are severe, and they are startling. But the spectrum of this condition spans a wide range of disabilities. And some children are very bright and high functioning. But you probably would recognize them as just maybe being just a little different. But with therapy, with diagnosis, treatment, some in our center, these kids can become very productive contributors to our society. Take a look at the video screen, please.
Hello, I'm Sherry Miller, Erik's mom. Erik was born in New York City, October 18, 1994, weighing just 2 pounds, 6 ounces. And after spending 7 weeks in the NICU, we brought him home from the hospital, alert and smiling. Erik behaved as a normal infant and toddler, but by the 2nd grade, things seemed to be changing. He started having trouble focusing and was diagnosed with non-hyperactive ADD. As Erik aged, we noticed that his social skill abilities were not the same as his peers. When these concerns were addressed with his doctors, we were told not to worry. It was part of the ADD. But we did worry, because his social skill challenges increased along with having to endure bullying and peers making fun of him. We were concerned that there was more to this story. In 2007, we moved to Columbia, and I made an appointment with the professionals at the Thompson Center. Erik went through an extensive evaluation and was diagnosed with Asperger's. After all those years of wondering and suffering, finally we had an explanation. Although difficult to hear, receiving an accurate diagnosis has allowed Erik and us to chart a course for treatment and therapy. With help from the doctors and therapists at the Thompson Center, Erik has made great strides in school, has developed many friendships, and has even performed in several talent shows showing off his outgoing personality.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased and honored to introduce a young man who's going to tell his story. It's a story that probably could be told by someone in your neighborhood, maybe in your company, maybe even in your family. But it can best be told by Mr. Erik Miller. How about a warm St. Louis welcome? Right?
Hi, hang on, I know I have my speech somewhere. Here it is. Good evening. My name, as you just seen and heard, is Erik Miller. Almost all of you in the audience probably know someone who has a disability, and I'm here to tell you a little about myself and what it is like as a teenager to have autism or Asperger syndrome. This is a little before and after, about how I was before I started at the Thompson Center, and how I am here now after some years working with a great group of people there. I grew up in New Jersey. For those who don't know, and for those who do know the what exit joke, the closest exit I lived in was exit 9. Kids like me with autism don't know that they're not normal. At least at the start, I thought I was just another kid going to school, trying to make friends, trying to have fun with my brothers and neighbors. And who's to say, maybe I'm normal and none of you are. Too often, though, I didn't fit in. In school, I would answer a question and answer some more and not stop talking but I promise I will later on this evening. I didn't know to stop, and I wasn't good at picking up some of the cues the teachers and others were able to see and giving off. I can't read body language or facial expressions, which is kind of weird because I love satire and comedy movies, which in all aspects, my favorite movie is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And I laugh hysterically with everyone else. How strange is that? There were times in school that I would overreact to something someone said or did, and it's because I didn't see that they were kidding around by their body language, or they could have been serious. I would get angry, hurt, because I thought they were making fun of me, and I would lose my temper, and that never ended well. There were several points when I quite wish I had a remote to rewind time. By middle school, things weren't working out, and I certainly wasn't happy at that much. I didn't have any I didn't have many friends, and the ones that that had pulled away did so because they thought I was a little bit strange and wanted to be with more popular kids. Then things got worse, in my opinion, when we moved because my dad got a new job. Things were different, and everything took a turn for the strangest. A new school, right in the middle of the school year. My parents had to find all new doctors for me, and so then I found myself in the Thompson Center. So the first thing that the Thompson Center did for me was to give me a new diagnosis to go with my ADD. That might not sound like much. It really isn't a gift to be told, you have Asperger syndrome. But actually it was a start. I could start understanding that my brain is wired differently from others, as my mom says, square peg, round hole thinking. I could start to understand more about how I behaved and my problems with others. I started understanding that it wasn't my fault, but it was a real thing, and I had to learn to adjust. The second thing that the center did for me was to teach me a lot about things I can do to compensate for what autism does to me. I went to social skills classes and started learning body language and facial cues. When you hear someone talking, also look at their face. Are they smiling? Are they angry? How does their body look? Things that normally people would automatically get, I had to be taught to see it. To try to think, instead of them being mean and nasty, that most people aren't that way, they are kidding. On the positive side. I recently was in a high school lip syncing contest performing Frank Sinatra's New York, New York. I got a standing ovation when it was over and won third place, and in my opinion, I think I got the largest reaction. No, I did get the largest reaction. And many people, I said I don't care what I got. Many people said I deserved first place. I don't care. For several days afterwards, kids would come up to me and tell me that they loved how I performed, how I did, and kept on congratulating me. For the most part, some of these people had been teasing me when I first lived here for a year or so, so I had a hard time believing this, and believing that they were telling the truth. And I kept on asking myself, did they mean it? Were they making fun of me? And I started remembering what I had been taught at the Thompson Center, and it made me feel good that kids said those nice things to me, whether it was true or not. It is hard work to do this, but I am making progress. I have many friends here, and I realize I'm not alone. There are many of us, square peg kind of kids at the Thompson Center. Several of them are at my high school, and we have learned to do a lot for each other and with each other. I am partway through my journey, as we all are on the journey of life. The Thompson Center has been very helpful to me, a place to get maps and guideposts to better navigate this journey. I am better for having gone to the Thompson Center for many things, including be able to stand here in front of you all and give this speech, and man, is this hard. I would like to thank Mr. LaRussa and Mr. Matheny, along with the players of the World Champion Cardinals, for supporting this cause and being here tonight. I hesitated a little bit. I'm a diehard Yankees fan. Now, hold on. Now, let me just say this. You did very well last year. You did. You deserved it. You proved that you were the best at. I'm sorry. Do know this is somewhat your fault for laughing so hard. And you do deserve it. I'm not joking. It is. My tie actually has on the bottom of it saying World Champion Yankees versus Cardinals. It's old though. I also would like to thank the doctors and professionals I work with at the Thompson Center. They have helped me more than you can imagine in the past 4 years I have been going there. I would like to thank them for providing important research and educational conferences for the teachers and parents so that they know how to better reach us out as we grow. This is especially true for one of my teachers and my caseworker, who has gained professional knowledge, advice, and invaluable assistance from the Thompson Center. He is a great guy, and I wish he could be here. Finally, I would like to say that a very important thank you to Mr. Thompson and his wife for giving their support to begin the Thompson Center. To have the desire to want to help kids like me and others on the autism spectrum and with neurodevelopmental disorders. To end my speech, I would like to ask all of you, when the auctioneers call for your bids, that you think about me and all the other kids and families that can be helped at the Thompson Center. For us, the Thompson Center is the beginning of living life to our full potential. I would also, now this isn't written down. This is not in the script. I would also like to thank my family, my teachers, and all my friends for encouraging me to do this, to be at my side through all the hardships, through getting me to do what I do and helping me even when I refuse it. And I don't know who's more stubborn, me or them. Thank you.
This is for you, buddy. You know, I just told Erik there's only one problem with his talk. This Yankee fan stuff has just got to stop. So I think there's something that's going to happen here.
Erik, that was an outstanding speech, and you were almost persuasive when you congratulated the Cardinals on their World Championship.
I'm being serious.
Okay, buddy, let's go this way.